Hey again, it's Christina from Sunshine and Flora. Well, today is the day I'm going to be making the very last two garden bouquets of the season. And boy, it has been a season. This has probably been one of my toughest gardening seasons of the year. Honestly, I'm ready for it to be done. I'm ready to turn things over for the winter. I'm ready to turn over the hoop house for fall planting and start planning for next year. And I'll do a recap video coming up and a garden plan video coming up. But this morning, I am going to go out there and harvest as much as I can. I've got two bouquets to make, one that needs to be around $20, one that needs to be about $25. One's a special delivery, and then the other one is just the end of the fall subscription I still owe one bouquet for. So I thought I'm going to take you along while I harvest and make these two bouquets just for one last bouquet making video of the season. So I think what I'll be mainly getting out there is zinnias. I've got a couple beds that have a decent amount of those in, so that's going to be the focal flower. I've got some status. I may have some Fama pincushion flower seed heads that I can put in for texture. And I don't know, that might be it. I do have a few stems of eucalyptus in the cooler. I'm just gonna plug in extra that I ordered for shower steamer packs. But that is about it. My Rebecca are done, straw flowers are done, hoop house is done, unless I have a few celosia in the hoop house. We may take a peek at that. But anyway, I'm gonna grab a bucket of water, my clippers, and we're gonna first head out to the zinnia patch, the one that is looking the best. One bucket will definitely be enough for today. Well, I think I'm gonna have enough zinnias just in this patch. Wow, there are a lot of really nice looking flowers. I am starting to see some powdery mildew setting in. I can't believe that this is the first that I have seen it this season. But these Bennery's Giants, these are just beautiful. So what I have in this patch, and I know I've given a zinnia tour before on one of my shorts, but this is the Bennery's Giant Lilac. I've got the Salmon Rose. There's a little bit of the wine in the back. I've got the white, the golden yellow, and then I have some of the Queen Lime Peach in here and the Oklahoma White. And all of these grew really well this season. This was, I believe, my third succession planting, or no, this might have been my second. This was a little slow growing. This gets shade, as you can see, in the morning. But by lunchtime, the sun is overhead, and this gets sun all the way till the sun goes down over the buildings across the street. I grew celosia here the past couple years, and I decided to grow zinnias here because I grew celosia in the hoop house, which I will not be growing all of my celosia in the hoop house next year. I definitely missed having that outside. But this worked really good for zinnias. And early in the season, we got some really big thunderstorms, hail earlier in the season that affected some of my things, but then we had a lot of wind damage. And I think being next to this fence, it was somewhat sheltered, and these plants just really did well. Now, I know I have talked before about how to tell if zinnias are ready for harvest, and you want to do the wiggle test. And basically, you're going to shake the stems back and forth to see how much it wiggles. And if the stem stays very sturdy when you wiggle it, it's ready to harvest. If the top of the flower head like wiggles back and forth, it's not quite ready to harvest yet. And a lot of these are ready to harvest, which makes me happy because this area the bugs have not gotten to. I'll take you out and show you the other patches, which if I get enough here, I'm not even going to harvest out of. But the bugs have just decimated those. In fact, I'll show you my dahlias too. I haven't had one dahlia yet this season. By the time they started putting on blooms, the bugs had taken over. I don't get those Japanese beetles that destroy the flowers here. There's some new little brown ones this year that I don't even know what they are, but I get the corn rootworm beetle and the cucumber beetle. And those just eat the plants alive. So I haven't gotten any dahlias. But if you saw my dahlia video, you know that I planted those exceptionally late anyway. I wasn't banking on getting blooms from those this year. I basically just wanted to get them in the ground so that I could save the tubers and then save them over winter again for next year. Gosh, some of these stems just really got long in the last couple weeks. Okay, let me get... I'm going to get as many as I can, and then I'm going to move down to the golden yellow. That one's got a little bit of damage on it, but he's not too bad. I think I'm going to start clearing some of my beds out this weekend, especially I need to rip out the hoop house to get it ready for fall planting. I'm going to leave this particular zinnia patch in as long as I possibly can because it is looking the best in the garden. And being downtown and kind of sheltered in between the two buildings, if we're in a frost advisory, sometimes I'll get frost at home, but I don't get it at the garden here. So this could potentially last even a week longer than some other things, if I can talk right this morning. So I'm going to leave this one in, and I'm going to start clearing the other beds. I'm just shredding the leaves and dropping them on the ground. I have bark over my landscape fabric here throughout the garden, and that's going to be taken up next year because it just collects the grass seeds and then grass grows in the path on top of the bark, and that's just not working for me anymore. So I've got part of it cleared out over on that section, but I've got to do this section in the spring. All right, I'm going to shift down and we're going to get the yellows and whites. Hopefully the highway noise isn't too loud this morning. Gosh, that is a big Bennery's Giant White. And I'm sure in the camera frame you can see my dead hanging basket. That's how this year went. I also need to clean out my green stock, which is completely dead. That's where I had my herbs planted. I just need a garden work day where all I do is clean out plants. I'm going to do a separate video that will be planning for the next season with what I am doing. But last year I let some of my beds go and I didn't clean them out in the fall just because I didn't get to it. We were renovating the building. I was getting ready to open the storefront and I just didn't get to it. And those beds really suffered this past spring. So I am not letting any of them go this year. Gosh, the stem length on these, so good. I probably already have enough, but I just keep picking. Let's get some yellows. Sometimes I find the yellow hard to use, especially when I have sunflowers, because I don't want to have too much yellow or I feel like it competes. But now that my sunflowers are done, I really like the yellow. I mean, the stems on these. There is a bug and I don't want you to go inside the store. Okay. What am I not getting? He's not ready. All right, I grabbed some Oklahoma white too. I love these little pops of color that are just little smaller zinnias. Okay, so I think I have enough zinnias. I think I'm just going to set the camera up and let you guys watch me harvest status and anything else I can get out of the garden, and then we'll go make the bouquets. All right, here's my bucket. That should be more than enough. So I wanted to walk you over and just show you the dahlias, and they have put on quite a bit of green growth. They actually look not too bad for being planted a month and a half late. And oh my goodness, I have honeywort growing. Oh, what a nice surprise. I love honeywort. I didn't have any in the garden this year. Oh my gosh, there's a big caterpillar. I wonder what kind that is. Anyway, back to the task at hand. The dahlias are looking really bad. I didn't have any blooms. You can see I have a few bagged. Here's one that just kind of opened wide to yellow. But they are just getting decimated by the bugs. And you can see, well, if I focus right, there are ladybugs on them, but there's these little brown bugs. And I don't know, maybe I can put a picture up on the screen if I figure out what they are. But they just are eating, they'll decimate the flowers. Like, can you see this one over here? It's just brown and eaten, and they are not good. But as much green growth as they have put on, I'm hoping the tubers will be viable. And I can at least save the tubers for next year. The Rudbeckia is also pretty much done. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with this. This was fall planted last year, so these will perennialize. I'm thinking I might pull some of them because there was just so much red this year, and let some of them winter over and then replant some of them next year in hopes that I will get more of the yellow. I don't know where the prairie sun came from because these are all supposed to be Sahara, but it's pretty. I also have a huge area of the Sahara in this area. Okay, now this is a good view of the zinnias that are just getting eaten so bad by bugs. Let me zoom in and focus. There's actually a little brown bug on the top of this now, but the petals are just eaten and brown. They're just terrible. Here's another really good view. You can see all the holes in the petals. And actually right below the flower, there is one of those beetles. It's kind of lime green with spots. They will just eat all of the flowers. So while from a distance there's some nice color, I'm not even going to bother harvesting any more out of this bed. I also thought I'd walk you over and just show you the other zinnia patches and how they are doing. So sorry about the lighting on this. So the back of this little square, these actually aren't looking too bad. Gosh, I probably could have gotten some stems out of these. Maybe I'll have to save these for next week and let them grow. These are the Bennery's Giant Purple. And then over here, let me zoom out a little bit. Sorry, this is in bright sunlight. These are the Oklahoma Yellow, and a lot of these blooms are spent. I'm kind of just letting the pollinators eat these, and then there's a few dried ones coming in here, and I might go ahead and collect some seed from these. I'd like to do a little bit more seed saving. So actually, let's pop in the greenhouse and look at the celosia. There might be some seed to save in there. I just want to take a peek, but then I'll show you what those look like as well. Let's hop right across over here. You can see through my plastic, I have a bunch of Roma tomatoes that I need to harvest yet. I haven't been in here for a while. It's looking very sad, but oh my goodness. Look at all the red in there. These Roma tomatoes got out of hand, but I'm leaving them because there's a lot of them ripening, and I'm hoping to get one more batch of sauce. This whole side is cleared out. This needs to be cleared out. These are all snapdragons. Sunflowers, this is where I grew all the sunflowers for that big market that I did. They grew absolutely amazing. And then, yeah, here's all the celosia. I can't even remember what kinds I grew. Sherbet, the Johnny's variety, was it Shimmer? There is definitely, oh my goodness, yeah. Let me try to focus for you guys. Sorry, they're unloading a truck out there. Hopefully that noise isn't coming through on the microphone, but I see some seed developing. This is, I think, the shimmer variety. Hopefully that's focused for you guys. And I really thought those were pretty. And so I think I'm just going to continue letting these go. And then I'm going to save the seed from them. Oh, there's definitely seed on some of these already. Yeah. This is really thinned out, but definitely worth leaving for a little seed saving. All right, let's exit the hoop house. And then I just want to show you the last of the zinnia patches. So everything is looking really spent for the season. These from a distance look good, but if you zoom in, they are all really spent just like everything else. These were the Johnny's ballerina. And then if we kind of pan over some of these more golden colors, these were I think it was called the Aurora mix. And I really, really liked these. But yeah, these are just eaten and done for the season. This area looks a little better, but again, really eaten by the bugs. Here I've got Bennery's purple. This is the Oklahoma salmon. And then I've got the Bennery's orange. And then more purple and wine. And yeah, just really done for the season. I'm just going to let some of these go and dry up. And maybe collect some of these for seed. This right here was my patch of snow on the mountain euphorbia, and I used this for multiple weeks and loved it. And you can see that there are seed heads forming everywhere. And what I did last year, I started with 4 plants last year. I let them all drop seeds to the ground, and I ended up with this really nice big patch this year. So I'm hoping that happens again for next year, that I get a nice self-seeded patch of it. These are so pretty, but again, just completely eaten by bugs. Okay, so I got a pretty big bucket of flowers here. Of course, I have all the zinnias. I was able to get some status. That looks good from a distance, but boy, that is really almost done for the season too. It's just time to be done with everything. I did grab a few of the echinacea. It's kind of a pale yellow color, so I'll probably use 1 stem in each bouquet. I only grabbed a couple stems. The others were eaten by bugs. And then, which, I don't know, this might be silly, but I grabbed some mountain mint. I just kind of like this in the middle. Now these blooms are spent, but the little seed heads are left, and they're kind of just like little green furry balls. And I really like the looks of them. And mountain mint smells amazing too. This is a perennial in my area, so that patch comes back every single year. I should have netted it better this year because it kind of fell over. And then when it rejuvenates and starts growing, you know, the stems are kind of wonky. Next year, I just need to pay closer attention and maybe cut it all back at one point for a second growth of the season and net it. But I really love the mountain mint. I got another little stem out of it too, which I don't know, this might not have been worth harvesting, but in the little $20 bouquet, just this extra little pop of green, I think adds some nice texture. So let me get my eucalyptus out of the cooler. I just have a few stems of eucalyptus. I don't know if these are even going to be usable. I saved them just in case. Someone requested that I order some eucalyptus for her to make some bunches for her shower steamers. And I told her I didn't grow it. I ordered it, you know, from a wholesaler, so I could guarantee there wasn't things sprayed on it. But she had been buying it before, wanted to get it locally. And so I just got her a bunch and sold it to her in some brown paper. So I don't know if I'll use this or not, but I have it just in case. I also am transitioning my cooler over for the season. I have knocked the temperature up, so it is between 40 and 50. I think this morning when I looked, it was about 44. I won't be using it for flowers anymore, but I want to keep it below 50 degrees because all of our potatoes from the garden are in there. And we got a really good harvest this year. I actually need to grab some out of there today for the weekend, but I want to be able to store those as long as possible, and the basement just isn't cool enough. Right now, the basement is the temperature of the building. If we build a cool room down there, it may keep it cooler back in that corner, but right now, the cooler is where they are, so I'm just storing the root veggies in there. Okay, let's start making these bouquets. I've got my paper cut. I think I'm going to do the $20 bouquet first. And I probably should get another bucket of water ready. So the $20 bouquet I'm actually going to be delivering this morning. And then the other one will be a pickup. And I think I'm going to start with this nice bunch of status. Look how nice and branching that is. Now I am going to take this little guy off because he's not all the way open and it may not last as long. And I think I'm going to take this one off too. That's a nice spray. Okay, and then let's start with, let's put this echinacea in the center. So this particular order, this is for an elderly woman, and her daughter bought her last Christmas a set of 4 bouquets that were to be delivered throughout the year. And we picked 4 dates throughout the year that meant something to her, like her birthday, Mother's Day, her daughter's birthday, you know, different things like that, anniversary. So this is the last delivery of the season. And so I'm going to make this bright and cheerful for her. She will love it. Let's put a white one. It's going to be mostly zinnias. So of course it's going to be bright and cheerful anyway. Let's put a couple of these little white guys in here. I love these Oklahomas. I may actually have enough to make a couple bouquets for the shop that I can say, last bouquets of the season, stop in and grab one. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's put a purple status around it, just for color. I better save those others. Let's give her maybe 1 or 2 more big ones. How about another big yellow one? Oh my gosh, yep, that's pretty. That needs to be right in the middle. And then we need 1 more coral one just to kind of even out this side. There we go. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, where are my clippers? Oh, I think I left them outside. Sure did. I had set them right on the air conditioner. All right. Well, if that isn't cheerful, so this will be the bouquet that I will deliver when I am done making these other ones. Okay, now I need to make the bouquet that is the one for the last subscription. I almost said prescription. Subscription pickup. Oh, and you know what? I forgot to put this little sprig in here, which I'm just going to add it. There's actually a space right here. I'm going to tuck it in the rubber band because I just think that little bit of greenery is kind of cute. There we go. Okay, now let's do the subscription bouquet. So I'm going to start with this mountain mint in the center, and then I will put the status in the center next to it. Let's do, where's that giant white one that I got out there? Wow. There was one year where I did not grow the Bennery's giant white because I had thought that the bugs got them first the year before, and I don't know, they just weren't doing it for me. But gosh, I don't know if it's the spot that I had them in this year. They really grew nicely. I was impressed with them this year. Okay, so I've got kind of the status, and I've got the mountain mint in the center. Oh, we've got to use this echinacea. This is actually a double stem. Oh, it's tangled in here. Okay, which actually that double stem kind of works its way in and fits around those well. Let's add one of these queen limes. Let's add 2 of the queen limes. And then I feel like I need a couple purples in here. This is going to be just really cheerful, just like the others. Okay. Then I'm going to flank it with some more status. Wow, that's a nice big stem. I'm going to save that for the center of one of my other ones that I sell at the shop. Okay, so we'll put this on the outside. Do I have a little white one? Let's just use this one. There we go. That looks beautiful. So this year for my bouquet subscriptions, I did the spring bouquet subscription, which I have done every year. And that starts as soon as I have flowers in the spring. So daffodils, tulips, ranunculus, ends with the peonies. And that is always a popular one. That's the best seller. But then this year I added a summer bouquet subscription, which I think I had done that in the previous year. But then I added a third one that was a summer/fall. So instead of 4 bouquets for summer, it was 8 bouquets over the summer through the fall. This is who that client is for. She was gone one of the weeks that we did the bouquets, and so she's got one left. So she will be coming to pick this up today. Okay, so those are the orders. Then I'm going to see if I can just squeak 2 more little bouquets out of here, even if they're just like little $10 bouquets. That'll be something extra that I can have and post that I have in the shop today. I kind of forgot this eucalyptus was sitting there. I don't know if I'm going to use it. There might be one stem that I could plug in to one of those bouquets, but I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. All right, so I'm going to pretty much make these the same. I'm going to start with a status in the middle. And I'm going to add the zinnias around. So I want to make sure I get a couple of Oklahoma whites. Actually, I have enough, I think, to put 3. Let's do one of the yellows. And then what colors do I have left? Kind of just all the coral. Oh, I need to use a purple in here. There we go. And then a couple more corals. These are going to be just really cute, simple bouquets. All right, how many zinnias do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that. Yep, I think that's good. So there's 10 stems in here. So wholesale pricing would be $10. I could sell it for $10. I could put like 12 on it. It's end of the season. So I don't know. We'll see. I might just say 12. I might just say 10. I honestly was surprised I got that many zinnias out there when I went out there this morning. That's cute. That's a cute little bunch. All right, let's do one more because I have one more stem of status. And it's a big one. I actually could have probably broken this up a little bit. A couple of those look a little tattered. That looks better. Okay. So 1, 2, got to get the purple. 3, queen lime for 4, 5, 6. Add a couple of these little, oh my gosh, this is going to be the perfect amount. This one's actually going to get 11. All right, well, use those up. Well, out of that harvest, I got the $20 bouquet that I need to deliver. I got the $25 bouquet that will be picked up. And I got 2 little bouquets that I will try to sell in the shop today. I'd say that was a successful harvest for the end of October here in Northwest Iowa. All right, well, I'm gonna go make this bouquet delivery. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. What are some of the videos that you would like me to put together over the winter months for you guys while you are planning for next year's garden season? I'm going to be sharing my hoop house plans very soon because those plugs are coming in a week or so and I will be planting that. Then once I have my whole garden plan done, I also will be sharing that with you guys. What other videos do you want to see? We're redoing our entire vegetable garden at home. Do you guys want to see that? Actually, I have a special on garden beds coming up for you guys. If you're interested in ordering some of those, I'll have a coupon code of those for you. You probably want to see seeds starting. And I don't know, what do you guys want to see? Because I always think it's fun to make videos over the winter months. So I'm going to quit rambling and cut this video off here. I hope you enjoyed seeing my last bouquets of the season, and stay tuned for a lot more. Subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and we'll see you in the next one.